Welcome to another episode of Passion for Action. This is a show where we spotlight others who are using their passion for health, fitness, or running to make a positive impact. Today's guest comes from our backyard at the Antelope Valley, and we certainly appreciate that she's carving out the time to speak to us.
She's a selfless 53-year-old mother of three, a loving wife, and teacher at Valley View Elementary here in Lancaster. She has partnered with a nonprofit named Smile Train in order to help cover the reconstructive surgery for children suffering from Cleft. Although it is postponed until next year, she continues to train for Ironman Kona. This takes place October 9th, 2021. Along with completing the 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and 26.2-mile run, her goal is to raise $50,000 for Smile Train through this event. That is 200 new smiles for these wonderful children. Through her drive, optimism, and passion for running, she has already raised $20,845. So let's dive a little deeper into how the amazing Nancy McKim is using her passion for action.
Hey Nancy, welcome to the Passion for Action show. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, you do some amazing things for an amazing organization, and we are so excited to spotlight you this week. So we have a few questions, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay, so the first question is actually one of my favorite questions is, when did you start running and what was the motivation behind it?
I always like to say I was ADHD before ADHD was a thing. And so my parents actually started me running when I was in 5th grade with Junior Olympics.
Wow.
Okay. At that time, of course, it was, you tried everything. You know, you did the sprints, you did the hurdles, you did the jumps. By the way, I can't jump. I cannot. So you try everything. And then I think that was 5th grade, and it was in 7th grade when I discovered distance running. My dad was running. I ran with my dad. And it was the meet before the final meet for junior high. I ran the mile for the first time, and I got second.
Wow.
Oh.
The next meet was the final meet for junior high, and I passed the girl that had always won, and she just sat down.
That's always a good feeling, isn't it?
And I won. You know, it's like I was catching her, and she just, I don't know, wasn't used to that, whatever, but she just kind of quit, and I won, and it was history from there. So at 40, I'm 53, so I think it was about 43 or 44 is when I started doing triathlons.
And what was out of the three events, the cycling, swimming, and running, which one is your favorite?
Swimming is actually probably my favorite and the one I'm worst at. In the sense that I had swam my whole life, but I'd never learned how to swim.
Oh.
So first I had to teach myself how to swim, and it's just so relaxing and comfortable. But I'm consistent, but I don't get any faster. But it's a good, consistent pace. I mean, I'm done with plenty of time before the cutoff.
Okay.
Oh,
No, that's the most fun. I'm probably the best at the running.
Okay.
So the biking is where it's the longest part. So if you can get a little bit faster in that or the run, then, you know.
And how did you come across Smile Train?
In 2016, I had been wanting to do a full Ironman. Okay.
Okay.
Vern wanted me to do a half Ironman first. So I went to Santa Cruz. I did my half Ironman. So November, the day after the Ironman, I'm sitting at school. And I told the kids, do your thing. I got on the computer and I registered for my first full.
Oh.
Well, in the beginning of the new year, I had found, even though I had a year to train, you're excited So you kind of start training. It didn't take me long to realize how all-consuming about yourself training for an Ironman is.
Wow.
Because you're going twice as far as a half. So you're swimming 2.4 miles, you're biking 112, and you're running a marathon. So it's not like you're just training a couple hours and going to go do this. And so I started looking I had seen other charities out on the courses, like ones for leukemia and and I just kind of started looking, and I found Smile Train. And of course it's kids, I teach, but so I signed up for it, not really knowing much about it, but they just enfolded you in. Like you were now I was part of a team. I wasn't an individual, which makes all the difference in the world. Yeah. But it also made it just so much more special. And they took care of you. They supplied you with your kit, which most of them do, but and at that time, they had a fundraising goal, of course, and the goal was $5,000, which pays for 20 kids receiving their forever smile, is what I like to say, because it's only $250 per smile. And that's just amazing. That's taking the operation, the nutrition help they need, the speech help they need, everything, $250.
That's really a good price.
Yeah.
And it takes only 45 minutes to get one done. So this is something a child born with that in 45 minutes could fix. And they aren't ridiculed anymore. There's just so much. It's amazing. So as the year went on and I learned more about it and more what I was getting into, I was fundraising. My school, Valley View Elementary, just amazing, blows you out of the water with their support. The district, I still send out emails. Their header is the Smile Train is still chugging along. Or picking up steam, depending on where I'm at. Right now somebody needs to remove the roadblock.
That is so cool how supportive they are.
They are amazing. Well, I got to 2,500 and I had my own entry. So they weren't paying for my entry. They weren't doing any of that. So I had just contacted one of the girls at the office and I said, Kristen, I've got 2,500, I feel like I've really put what I can into this. I'm not talking 30 seconds. She said, keep going. Somebody just gave you $1,000 donation.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So it was kind of like I let go, God took over.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, okay. And I ended up raising $5,500.
That's amazing.
For that. And like I said, honestly, it was a lot of friends, but a lot from the district and my school. So I've done 5 races. I'm working on my 5th one right now with them. And I cannot tell you how supportive everybody is. It's very cool. Now I've had to branch out and do other things to help.
Yeah.
But just the community and my small part of the community, High Desert Runners, my school, my district, my church, just my small part has been very, very supportive.
That's wonderful. So that leads us into our next question is, what are you doing now with Smile Train and how can people get information to help you out?
Right now I'm actually doing the Big Surreal Challenge. And that was because I was supposed to be doing Ironman Kona next month. But we all know what happened.
Yeah.
So to keep myself a little motivated, Smile Train, they aren't doing the Big Surreal Marathon, which Smile Train was going to do. And they pay for people's entries, people fundraise. Okay. Since they couldn't do it, the Big Surreal Marathon put out the Big Surreal Challenge, and it's over the month of September, and it's 5 challenges. It's 5K, 12K, which I did today at Apollo, the 11 miles, 21 miles, and a marathon.
Wow.
I'm doing 5, just a little bit different on some of them, and I would love to be able to raise 5 smiles, help 5 kids get their forever smile. I've raised 1.5 so far, and I've done 3 of the challenges. So it would be great, you know, to do that. But then there's kind of leads into the next question.
Okay.
I am, of course, working on Ironman Kona.
Mm-hmm.
And now Ironman Kona is the big daddy of Ironman. It's a world championship.
It's no small feat.
It's the world championship one.
Yeah.
For me to do Ironman Kona with Smile Train, I have pledged to bring in 200 smiles.
Which is how much?
Okay. Which is $50,000.
Wow.
When we deposit what I have in the account at the bank, my Smile Train account, we will be at almost 35,000.
Wow.
That is amazing.
That's incredible.
Okay. So so I've got a few things, of course, in the works, but being postponed, it gives me, of course, another year to raise the rest of the money needed. Okay. But it also gives me a chance to bring awareness, which you guys are amazing, you know, helping to get the word out past my little field, you know.
Well, you sound like you're doing pretty good with your little sphere so far.
Yeah, I got a little sphere, but that's been over about 2.5 years.
Okay.
It's helped that I've done my Love for Smiles 5K that we do in February.
Okay.
That's helped. I do discount cards in the spring that work with the places in the valley, and that helps. That brings in usually about 3 or 4 smiles, you know, because you get to keep half of that. So I've just been, this last year I was supposed to do a second run in Leona Valley for their cherry festival.
Oh, yeah.
But we know,
Yeah.
you know, so the plan is,
Seems to be you know what I mean.
the plan is this next year, hopefully, to be able to throw in the Love for Smiles 5K,
Mm-hmm.
the Leona Valley Cherry 5K, and whatever else can happen, and get the rest of the money raised before I race October 6th of next year. So of 2020.
It kind of worked out for you with extending it to next year.
It did, because it gives me more time to get the money raised. I do have little sponsor things. One of the very best fundraisers I've done is we had a penny war at Valley View last Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving break. Now, a penny war is every class has a can, and they bring money, and every dollar and penny counts towards their total, but every piece of silver counts against their total. Okay? So every morning we would do morning PE. So instead of morning PE that week, all the teachers brought out their cans, all the kids brought their money. And if they had pennies, all those went in their own can, but then they would run all over campus, taking their silver and bombing the other classrooms. So then I would collect the money every day and go put it in, and they raised $5,000.
Oh,
wow! You have all these
my
little.
school is not big, and my school is not filled with. I mean, you know, we're not a rich school. We're you know, we're in the older neighborhood. You know, that was probably the one that just really touched my heart and showed me what those kids can do. You know, because we had an assembly, I explained what it all was. The Friday before they got started, teachers were involved, parents were involved. They would drop off rolls of pennies in the office, you know, for their kids' class.
These little Smile Train ambassadors, bless their hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
They were all smile makers. So my goals are, if you donate $5,000, you get your emblem or whatever on 1/4 of my tri-suit, my kit that I will wear in Kona. Okay. And so Valley View already has earned 1/4 of my tri-kit.
Nice.
So I've got their little Valley View hiking right here on my tri-kit. So any other business, any other person, anybody else, you know, I've got room on my tri-kit. And then I have friends that have donated a smile or two just personally, you know, and their names go on the back.
Awesome.
Of the tri-kit.
So where is the best place for someone to find you to be able to do this?
My Instagram has it in my bio.
Okay.
So that's probably just the easiest. You can find that. Or if you have the link to my fundraiser on Smile Train itself, which if that's posted, that's really great because they can not only look at what I'm doing, they can also research what Smile Train is. Mm-hmm. Because it is the world leading cleft surgery organization in the world, you know. So they partner with doctors. Those doctors perform those surgeries for free because they've been trained how to do it. Mm-hmm. You know. So right now with COVID, of course, everything's stopped at COVID. But a baby's born every 3 minutes, so they're kind of backed up, but they are just taking it on, man. They're just performing surgeries now that things have opened back up in those countries, like constantly, you know. Nice. And we get reports on that. So, yeah, and like I said, it's a purpose for my passion. Children are my passion. I teach transitional kindergarten. I've taught everything but first and second over my 30 years of teaching. And like I said, it's a quick fix. It's a fix that totally changes their life. Mm-hmm. And it's not that much money. And I don't discount cancer and all that kind of stuff. No. Don't get me wrong. But this is an instantaneous fix.
Yeah, it's a lifetime happiness for them.
Yeah, so we're going to put all of the information in the description of how they can get a hold of you. And we have our last question for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, this is the big one. Jenny, take it over.
Would it be safe to say that this $50,000 is your most audacious goal with them, or do you have something else that we don't know about?
I can't imagine anything bigger than this.
I would say that's probably my most audacious goal. I don't think I've ever tried to raise that kind of money anytime in my life.
Wow.
And even I will continue to race with them after, but they've kind of pulled away from Ironman races besides this one, and it's more marathons. So they have like New York and Chicago. We've done Chicago with them, but they have. So for those of you out there that don't do triathlons and you would like to get involved, they have 4 of the world major triathlons. They have Berlin, London, Chicago, and New York.
Nice.
That's 4 of the 6. So you just have Tokyo and Boston left.
Okay.
You know,
but they're on their way.
Something
they'll get
anybody else would be interested in getting involved with. It's very exciting because you've got your sure entry into the race. You just got to raise a little money, and it's really raises itself. It really does. So
what is the impact that you would like to have with this goal, you know, the impact on everyone or children, or what is the impact that you would like to have?
This is a bonus question.
Is 200 children.
Wow.
200 children who receive their forever smile. Children that can't eat right. They can't, when they're born, they can't breastfeed. They lose weight. Families are ridiculed because they're thought to be whatever the culture is in that area. You know, some are out in the bush places, some are, and it's hard to get where they need to go, and they don't know that there's a smile train out there.
Wow.
You know, and stuff. And some kids are just left because their parents don't realize that there is a fix. It's not something they did wrong.
No.
you know? And so that's 200 children who can go to school and laugh and play with their friends instead of having to sit over in the corner because they're different.
Yeah.
And they talk different and they look different and they can't eat right, or, you know, so it's the kids.
Yeah.
It's always the kids.
It's already hard enough being a kid, you know, and worrying about what everybody thinks about you. If you have something on your mouth in front of everybody to see, it makes it even. I wouldn't even go to school. Oh my gosh, I would be horrified. But they're tough. They do it.
And once the surgery is done, and I mean, it's barely noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
We've watched some videos on, and just to see the change in these kids, you know, there was one little boy in particular, I forgot his name, but he had a bunch of friends around, and, you know, his was a pretty big, like, gap with his lip.
Mm-hmm.
But his friends took him in, his friend's mother took him in because his own mother was sick, and she was in a wheelchair and couldn't really do anything, and, you know, she helped him get the surgery. So once he got that, I mean, he was even more outgoing than before, more confident. And I love that. That's how kids should be, just happy in their own skin.
Yeah.
And I like to say, you know, the smile's the universal language. You can't say the word without smiling. Sorry. You can't.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy.
Do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
We are honored to have you on the Passion for Action show, and we love what you're doing with your passion for cycling, swimming, and running to make a difference in these little kids' lives. Thank you so much for this. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for sitting down with us. That was an awesome interview, and it was so exciting to hear all the things that you do for Smile Train. What did you think about that?
I think that was really, really spectacular, the amount of training that you put in for this, the dedication that she has for these wonderful children. Kudos to you, girl, on that swimming, because, yeah, I'm afraid of Nessie, sharks, and piranhas. So if I can't see through the water, I'm not going in it.
Yes, kudos to you. I am going to stick to running on the street, away from the water, but we support you, and we support all the things you are doing for Smile Train. Do you know anyone that is using their passion for action? If so, we would love to meet them and share their story. Until next time, remember, please use your passion for health, fitness, or running to make a positive impact.
We're sending love, light, and happiness. Mwah.